Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Dele. I am a Nigerian YouTuber based in England. Welcome to my channel. If this is your first time seeing this gorgeous face, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, all of those good stuff. So let's go straight into this video. Family and friends are planning to relocate to United Kingdom. Or daily, we don't know, we're not sure where to move to. We're not sure if to live in London or to live outside London. What is the cost of living like in London? What is the difference between living in London and outside London? I decided to film this video so that I can share my experience and share my knowledge of what's like to live in London compared to living outside London. I'm only going to share about 5 points because obviously I don't want the video to be too long. But if you've lived in England for a while and you can also share your experience with us in the comment section, please leave it down below so that people can also learn from your experience and then hopefully make an informed decision of if they want to live in London or live outside London. At the end of the day, it's up to you where you live with your family and friends when you move to England. This is just me sharing my experience of what it's like to live in London compared to living outside. The first point I'll be sharing in this video is the cost of living. The cost of living in London is very high compared to living outside London. Let me give you an example. One of my cousins, she's a nurse, she just moved to England recently. If you watch this video, hi. I don't think she wants the world to know she's in England yet, but either way, hello cousin. I'm not going to say her name yet. When she's ready, comfortable to share with the world, yes, maybe I can interview her on this channel. She can share experience, what's like moving to United Kingdom. Anyway, so she told me that she found a 2-bed that she and her family are going to move to somewhere 4 hours away from London. They're going to be paying £650. Yes, you heard me right. For a 2-bed house 4 hours away from London. For a place in a location 4 hours away from London. I don't want to disclose the location just in case I interview her on my channel. I don't want the world to know where she lives. So they pay £650 for a 2-bed house with a garden, with a double rooms for she and the kids and her husband, nice kitchen with a driveway for £650. When she said that, I was really surprised because £650 is the cost of a room, not an apartment. Not a house, a room in London. A room that you have to share the house with other flatmates or housemates, depending if it's an apartment or if it's a house. Yes, £650. And you have to share the kitchen, you have to share the bathroom, you have to share the common space with other house or flatmates. But if you move outside London, you can get a house for £650. This is not hearsay. This is what my cousin actually told me. She just recently moved there like a month ago. And I'm sure they might even be cheaper further away from London. So the first difference for me is the cost of living. Yes, the rent is way cheaper. The bills are way cheaper outside London. So if you're thinking of moving to England, it is cheaper for you to rent an apartment or rent a house outside London compared to London. Then my second point is the space of the apartment or the house that you want to rent temporarily until you sort yourself out, because obviously you just moved to England. It is the space. What I've noticed based on living in London and also living outside London, I've seen that the difference in the spaces, depending on where you live in London, and depending, of course, the bigger the space, the more expensive it is to rent the apartment or the house. But one thing I've realized that outside London, they got bigger space, bigger living rooms, big bedrooms, bigger bathrooms, bigger kitchens compared to houses or apartments in London. So if you're a family of 4, for example, you find a bigger space that you can rent for a cheaper price outside London compared to London. Like I said, there are also some big houses in London with big spaces, big bathrooms, big living space, bedroom, but they'll be very expensive to rent, or if you eventually want to buy. But for outside London, you can see for a decent sized room, a decent sized kitchen, you can afford and can cater for yourself and your family. And if you're moving alone, also you can find, like, some people don't like to share spaces. If you want to share a space outside London with other housemates because you don't feel comfortable living alone, you can find like a room for £300, £400 to rent outside London. But in London, 500, even some apartment 800, 1,000 just for a one-bed apartment. For those that like to live alone and want to have their own space. If you want to have your own space, then it is more expensive for you. But if you don't mind sharing with others outside London, you will save a lot of money compared to someone that lives in London when it comes to paying your rent and your bills. Room size, the apartment size, the house sizes they are way bigger outside London compared to living in London. The third point is the transport service in London compared to outside London. In London, this is an advantage for those that want to live in London. The buses, trains, railways, underground, everywhere in London. You don't have to have a car to move around in London because, like I said, there are buses everywhere. There are night buses. So if you need to go to work at night, if you're going to be working late, you're going to be leaving the house early to get to uni or to get to work, there are trains and buses everywhere. But for those that want to live outside London, there are limited transport services outside London. The trains, the buses are timed, like every 30 minutes, every 1 hour. So you have to time yourself, you have to have time management, you have to plan your time properly so that you don't miss the buses and the trains outside London because they are limited and service outside London do close early compared to London. So after a certain time, if you don't get home, if you don't get to the train station on time, if you don't get to the train station or the bus stop after a certain time, there will be no bus to get you home. You have to get a cab. Even the cab services are limited outside London. So if you have to maybe work night, if you have to go out at night, you have to hang out with people at night, you have to think about what time is the last train, what time is the last bus service so that you don't get stuck where you are or you have to sleep at the station. But for those that live in London, that's an advantage because, like I said, there are buses, trains, cabs, Ubers, everything. Even where I live only like an hour away from London and we don't have any Uber service over here in London, in this town that I live in. Compared to going further away from London, 4 hours, 3 hours from London, they don't have Uber services because they have their own local taxi services. When I need to get cabs to go to the station, I have to book in advance so that I don't miss my trains. Compared to London, I don't even need to book. I can literally walk from the house to the train station to get on the train to work or to hang out or whatever I want to do. So have that in mind that the limited transport services outside London compared to living in London. The next point I'll be discussing is the Nigerian food. They're limited also. Nigerian food, international foods, they're limited outside London compared to obviously in London. In London, they have unlimited supply of Nigerian food. I'm going to be filming a video shortly talk about the Nigerian communities or that I am aware of that we have in London. If you want to maybe move to London and you don't know where the Nigerian communities are, I'll film a video shortly so that I can explain so you can be aware. Because to be honest, sometimes people don't want to live away from people. They want to live close to people that they're familiar with. So I'm going to film a video about that soon. But those that want to live in London, there's unlimited supply of Nigerian food. They might be expensive compared to obviously Nigerian food cost in Nigeria, but they have food. There are Nigerian food everywhere in London. Yam, plantain. I have a video on my channel showing you guys the cost of Nigerian food in London and the area where I went to Dagenham. You know, but outside London, you are limited to the type of Nigerian food that you can buy. They don't have everything. They don't have the lot of options for Nigerian food. So I travel to London like once every month to stock up on Nigerian food for the house for the month. So if you live outside London, you can also do that. Plan a day trip to London, stock up on everything that you need for the month. Obviously, you cannot stock up on yam. You can also stock up on yam because yam, you can now freeze yam. So I found out on YouTube, you can cut the yam into little pieces, put them in a freezer bag and store them in the freezer. And when you want to cook yam or fry yam or pound yam, whatever you want to do with the yam, you can always get it out. You can always defrost the yam and then cook it like as you desire. Very expensive to buy Nigerian food outside London compared to buying them in London. But like I said, if you can do like a day trip to London, stock up on Nigerian food, I know that you are good for. What I'm going to be discussing is the fact that when you move outside London, you are less likely to come in contact with people that look like you. Huge community of Nigerians in London, the outskirts of London. When you start moving to places like Northamptonshire, far away from London, 3-4 hours away from London, and more of the people that look like you in those communities, because a lot of Africans don't like to move outside London. A lot of the community now, I think we're knowing better, and we are understanding that it's not just London that is in England. There are other cities in England. So a lot of black people are coming to realize that I'm moving outside London. But there's a huge community of Nigerian community in London. So the further you move away from London, the less black people you will come in contact with. Especially if you move to a village. Like, I live in a village, and when I see black people, I'm like, oh, hi. And you can say that you can say that they are happy to see me. I'm happy to see them, even though we don't talk to each other, even though we don't say what to each other, but we maintain this eye contact, like, oh, I see you, sister, I see you, brother. And it's just because a lot of black people are not moving to this community. I don't know why. So when you go to the supermarket, when you go to stores, and you see people that look like you are, oh, okay, I'm not the only one in this community. So just for you to be aware that the further you move away from London, the less you're going to come in contact with people that look like you. So if you want to be in a town or in a city where there's a lot of people that look like you, then London or the areas of London like Essex, Kent, Milton Keynes still have a huge community of Nigerians, of black people, of Asians. I'm going to be doing a video soon to compare living in Essex compared to living in Kent. For those that are not aware, they don't want to go too further away from London, but they don't mind living in areas of London like Essex, like Kent. I'm going to be doing a video soon just to compare the difference between living in Essex and Kent, so that you can make an informed decision of where you want to move to with your family, especially if you have kids. I feel like that video is very beneficial for you. So I just want to make you aware that the further you move away from London, the less black community that they have in those areas, or less Asian community. Although there's some areas that have been populated by the Asian community. You know, the Asians, they're always supporting each other, they stick together. So as soon as one Asian moves to a particular area, they feel like it's going to be beneficial for other Asians. They speak to themselves, and they build a community there. But just thought to share that, just so that you are aware that, because some people would like to stay in a community where they can see people that look like them, work with people that look like them. But the further away you move from London, the less of your chances of coming in contact with people that look like you, that sound like you. Because obviously, I'm not saying they're not Africans, they're Africans everywhere. Those that know, are there Africans, Nigerians, Asians everywhere in the world. So it's just that there's not a huge community of Africans or Nigerians or Asians in certain parts of England, compared to if you're living in London or in the surrounding areas of London like Essex, Kent, Milton Keynes, Surrey, compared to living in, maybe for example, you go to Oxfordshire. It's not a huge community of blacks or Africans in communities in towns like that, compared to towns like London, Essex, Kent, Milton Keynes, and places like that. Okay guys, I don't want this video to be too long, so I'm just going to stop the video here. If you feel like there are more differences that I've not shared in this video, please feel free to leave it down in the comment section, and we can chat about it, and we can learn from each other in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, all of those good stuff. I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.